daily as we count up to 100 century cases daily, at least Monday through Friday. So I'm going to like put it out there that way and take a few days this weekend to kind of catch up and relax a little bit. But what I'm talking about here is the whole backstory of Eat Like a Bear, this weight loss platform that's turning out to be a whole lot more than weight loss, and how we ended up going from like just this photo back in the fall of 2017 to this graphic, which is the distribution of Eat Like a Bear members in the United States. And if I had the proper data and proper software, you would see this going all over the world. We have little clusters, including maybe Wendy will join us here again today, because the other day Wendy was here from South Africa and said she's going to find a chain of people to report back to us, because just Monday, we did a segment with the NBC affiliate here locally on a chain of success stories from me telling Anna Sewell. Her friend Melinda followed her, and Melinda's mother followed Melinda, and following the little chain of successes. And of course, each of those people has other people they've told and who've gotten started as well. So how did we go from this to this? With lots of people like Shelly, who joined on day one and was our first century bear as we count up the 100 century bears, or Melinda Troxel, who ended up on the cover of Woman's World magazine in December. Melinda is one of our century bears as well. And so I've been telling these stories every day, and where we left off yesterday was the fall of 2018, because, okay, again, I didn't plan to do this and really planned for someone else to lead it. And you can listen to the story I'm doling out every day, and described why. I mean, I didn't think I was going to lead it, because I certainly didn't intend to be in charge of something about weight loss. I mean, how stupid is that? And having struggled with it my whole life and thinking the industry is complete crap, which, you know, it is, okay? And so you kind of don't want to be associated with crap. I mean, right? so, so why am I here? Boy, I ask myself every day. Well, so the story, it's unusual. And I spoke about my doctor, who I really thought was very well positioned to lead all of this here in Central California, and my kind of approach to try to get him to start. And he was started, and he was doing well with this. And I said in the last segment of the story, he had a massive heart attack and passed away. And he's one of those cases of starting too late, in my opinion. I mean, it was working for him, but is that the truth? Did I lose y'all maybe? Hey, Donna. Donna, well, I'm glad you left the bear group. And so taking off, and so, you know, put in your questions, and what are you guys doing? What have you been doing in the last few days to engage with your goal? Oh, and Paulina is off. Okay, so we'll catch you later, Paulina. Thanks for checking in, though. All right, all right. And so taking off from the story of the doctor passed away. And so, and I had just posted the Yellowstone video about 2 months before, a postcard from Yellowstone, which you can find on Facebook or on this YouTube channel. But boy, am I cutting out because I'm having some kind of connection issue? That's really strange. Hey, can you guys see me? I wonder. We'll just see. Not all live videos were ever meant to be, I think. So we'll just see if this works. That's kind of strange, because I keep getting errors on my end. Anywho, but you can imagine, I really hadn't planned on being the leader of something, and I really had been focused on that foraging empire I spoke about some stories ago, and, you know, getting out and living in it. And oh, so yeah, Wanda says it's buffering. Yeah, I think it's me. I think it's my side, because I'm getting some strange stuff over here. And yeah, I think it's me, you guys. Sorry. And here I am. I'm all excited about these daily lives because I have actual good internet. But, you know, these things happen even with good internet. So, but to the point of the story, that was a time from November of 2018 until I would say mid-March of 2019 for sure, maybe a little longer, but right around then was when I kind of had my, yeah, just talk fast. Okay, okay. Um, so there were a lot of things going on at that point. For one thing, I really didn't start this with a vision of what it would look like, and didn't imagine I'd be leading it again. I had plans, let's just get someone else to lead it. And so I really wasn't sure of its general direction. We were trying to, gain, group members and stuff like that. And, but also trying to figure out how we're going to pay for it. And I had a definite plan to get sponsors for the group and to maybe make, sponsored videos or something like that, and that would generate revenue for the group. Because already, even in that first fall of 2018, it would have been already, I could see the future, and already we were a little bit underwater with our bills, and we weren't even, very big, but we were starting to grow and see some steam basically from that Yellowstone video. And there really aren't, the blueprints for starting something like the weight loss, platform where you're gonna, sell XYZ or whatever, all the blueprints out there is, yeah, sponsors, yikes, see? Well, because how do you, what do you do? What do you do? And, what is the path? And the the typical one, of course, is that, okay, so you lost the weight and you attract an audience, and then you sell things like, well, like collagen, which actually I don't even think would be that bad, but like collagen. And that's a really good example, because it's not a weight loss accelerator. Because you guys, if you follow me, you know what I say about the weight loss accelerators. Do not take weight loss accelerators. But what about something like collagen that just like might improve your skin? And maybe we should all actually take it. But so you say you got a collagen sponsor. That's not that bad. It really isn't. Uh, and something like that. I was hoping to, figure out like, well, who is a natural partner and that, supports our health. Uh, um, and surely there was one, because that is, or, frankly, I could have custom manufactured or, private labeled collagen and sold it. That would maybe be the obvious thing. And, I've got like the video views here in this channel on my loose skin, and could have some that talk about the use of collagen for your loose skin and use that to generate revenue. That is a very typical path. And again, I don't think it's bad. Um, we were looking at that, and at, another thing is I was starting to do more live videos. And in fact, it was live videos, I believe, that got some of our early century cases in there that January of 2019. So that would have been people like Melinda Truxell, who found us, I think, in late December or early January of 2019. Sean Teddick, I think, found us right in that same late December time. Maria found us in like January 5th of 2019. And so somebody, and Shelly was already in her grind. So she was there on day one, and she hit 100 pounds down in April of that year. But a lot of these ladies, who some of you know as like the early grinders, they started right in that period. And it was from those live videos I was doing on Facebook. And so I was getting like building an audience of live viewers on Facebook. And I was about to go to this big trade show where I was thinking about, that's where I'm going to get the sponsors, because that would be the obvious to get sponsors. The trade show, Expo West, it's like nothing you've ever seen. It is just, oh, miles almost. I mean, it's just huge. The Anaheim Convention Center is filled. It's actually overfilled. It spreads out into the neighboring hotels with exhibits from every company you can imagine that is related in any way to the natural foods industry. So you can meet all the brands, all of them. And so, okay, but also you get samples, you get product samples, and come back with a ridiculous amount of stuff. And I thought, oh, I'm doing these live videos. Wouldn't it be cool to have like a live show, live video or recorded or whatever, some kind of video show that's sampling these products, like the snack bars, okay? And I'm just gonna preface this by saying, like, okay, so that would have been cool. I think I'd be very good at that. Hey, like, open it up and show it. It's like, oh, look, and the crunch, and that little hint of sweetness or whatever, how satisfying this or that is. That would be fun. I think it would be cool. And so with what I'm about to say about it, I still think that, and people come to me and say, "Hey, should I do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, that would be cool. I think it'd be great for you to do that." And that was my plan. That was my plan. And that I get, it's really pretty cool, and this is why I'm not doing it, because I really planned on it, and I was positioned to do very well in it, much like I was positioned to do well, I think, in those foraging videos, and that whole empire I was building. Um, so, but come on, think about it. If we're all like, on camera tasting stuff and having fun, okay. So, because I don't do that. So here we are at this moment that I see as a critical transition for this whole story, which is I did go to Expo, and as it turns out, in the about 10 days beforehand, I had a talk with my husband and said, "Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to go to Expo," because I thought, Sanders probably at this point really worried about the money. At that point, we had the bare bones ebook that got published in mid January of 2019, and that was it. And so that was like a little tiny trickle of revenue at that point. That was it. And we were underwater, and my husband's real cheap. I'm cheap. He's cheaper. Okay. And I thought, this guy's dying. He's being a good sport, but he's dying. So I go into him, I'm going to like set his mind at rest. Like, Sander, I'm going and I'm getting sponsors. Going to Expo West, I'm getting sponsors. That's what I'm doing. And he looked at me and he said, Amanda, I know you think you're something, but you're really not that big. You're not going to get even one sponsor. Why are you bothering? So, of course, I think, well, Sander, my first thought is, you tell me I can't do something, just watch me not, just watch me. Like, right? I can go get a sponsor. But I didn't say that. I thought, I kind of took a step back on the situation and I thought, okay, you guys are going to like this. If my husband is telling me I can't do that, it means he's not as concerned about money as I thought he was. And so I thought, if my super cheap husband isn't as concerned about money as I thought he was, maybe I just bought a little bit of time. So I won't try to get sponsored. I am too small to get a sponsor. So I cooled off on the idea for Expo. It was still in my mind. And I was still, as I was thinking I'm going to have these tasting videos, I was thinking too, like, would I have a sponsor in a tasting video? How would I handle that? And so I went to Expo and took Alistair with me. And it was a great time. We sampled everything. And I don't know how many calories I ate, like 15 calories at a time in all the keto snacks that were there. And I ate only keto, just ate keto the whole time. And I remember this moment we were talking with the people at Zevia, the stevia sweetened sodas, and talking with one of their executives, and just had a great discussion with him. But one of the things I said to him, because they were looking for influencers, and we had a good chemistry, and they were just cool. The Zevia people were cool. But I remember saying to him, well, yeah, and my name tag, it said influencer. So he's like, influencer. And he knew that my son and I were Zevia fans. So anyway, I said to him, well, I don't, I told him about the weight loss thing, and I said, I don't know that we're really working with brands. I don't know what we're doing. And he kind of was surprised by that. And then he said, I'm really excited for you. I'm really excited, about what you're going to do. But I was standing there thinking, like, I wish I knew what I was going to do. But I thought what I was going to do was take all, I was pretty sure at that point, but I didn't know what the money would look like and show on, like, opening the packages or whatever, the tastings. And so we left, had a nice time visiting. What? Okay. And so, so we got the flu. And I hadn't had the flu, and I don't know, how did we get the flu? Oh, I don't know, being with 90,000 people. as we ate our way through the expo hall, eating stuff out of a package didn't really set us up for success. And I thought, okay, what's the story here? All of this packaged food that I just spent 4 days eating, and I get the flu, and I think I'm going to do videos where I like excitedly open all this up. And I said to myself, seriously, I said, like, what are you doing with this? What is your purpose? And how many of these keto snack bars did you eat? For instance, in my rapid weight loss phase where I lost 100 pounds in 8 months. So put in comments how many of those snack bars you think I ate in those 8 months, just real quick. See what you guys say. And so Melinda's asking for rain in California. We're really, really dry here. And ginger. So you guys, how many snack bars did I eat in those 8 months? And so, oh, and Bonnie. Oh, okay, you guys. Yeah. And so Vivian, yes, congratulations to Vivian, who's a Century Bear, and Melinda is a Century Bear. And we've had some, let's see, we didn't have any new additions yesterday. And so I wonder, do we have any today? And we sometimes get them in little spurts. So it's hard to know. And so, okay, 64 pounds. I love it. Wanda says I had no snack bars, Ginger 0, Susan 0, 0, 0, 0, 6. Zero. Just going to try to get to the end of this. And then we'll, if you guys have questions, but maybe just go on, move on with our day and pretend this didn't happen. But yeah, zero. I had 0 snack bars. And so let's think about this for a minute. You have a weight loss platform where you're encouraging people to lose weight, and you're teaching something that you didn't actually do to lose weight. Well, to what degree is that going to support actual weight loss? And so taking that step back on myself, I mean, I literally asked myself, like, what are you doing, Amanda? What's your purpose with what you are doing? What is your goal? Because, I mean, it's a worthy goal to go out and become like an influencer tasting the snack bars. But let's consider that is its own goal. And that might not even drive your own weight loss maintenance. I mean, you have to consider what the impact of that is, but it's its own goal. And so I decided that right there with the flu, so what is my goal? And I said to myself, what if everything that you do, all of your major projects, all of the leadership you try to provide to the community, what if everything, all the ways you spend your time, what all of it is measured against the yardstick of, does it improve the success rate for weight loss in the community? And if it does, keep doing that thing. And if it doesn't, don't do that thing. And so what if everything I did, just day to day as I was prioritizing, I measured against that standard? Where would that take us? And so I thought, okay, where would that take us? And then what's my direction? And at the same time, in the community, see, we were, I wasn't teaching the ridiculously big salad per se. I'd started talking more about it up to that point, but I came into the community in July when I found the community. I would show just a range of carb choices, and of the eating window option, and people would kind of find their way and find their path. But Nancy Craig in particular had been saying, no, but that's fine. That framework is fine. But what do you eat? And so over some months, people were asking more about the salad. And so at that point in the community, I would say from about late January into March, we were seeing a lot of salads getting posted in the group. Started noticing that there were a lot of salads that didn't look like my salad. And so I came back from Expo and decided what I would do is start looking more closely at the salads. And so the video that I did, the first live video after Expo, is actually a video. I think it should be like a classic video now, now that you guys know the whole story. But I got on there, right here, bags, big bags full of all the samples. It was ridiculous. I gave most of those away. It was too much. And so anyway, hey, I was gonna like open these and show you all these great snacks or whatever, but then we got sick because and you know what? No one's gonna win the long game eating all the stuff out of the packages. And so forget about the packages. I'm going to show you how you can make a salad dressing in 2 minutes. It was something like that. And that was the first of the, hey, I'm going to whip up salad dressings in my kitchen video. And what I noticed, and this kind of blew me away, it's so obvious. All of this is obvious once you think about it, but it's just, you just get caught on different paths. And what I then started seeing is an improvement in our success rate as people were understanding, like, oh, wait, what is in that dressing and why did Amanda put that in it instead of that kind of thing. And so we still have a lot of variation in implementation as people decide, like, oh, I don't want to have dairy. Okay, don't have dairy. Or I don't like vinegar. Okay, don't have vinegar. I mean, there's different, people have different approaches, and that's okay. And, some of those might not even affect your weight loss, or maybe it's better not to have dairy. I don't know. But we still have variation. But I think as people came to understand a little bit better what the specific approach was and why it was working, people were able to fine tune what they're doing. And so that was just in the spring of 2019. And honestly, when I got in and I started working on the RBS book, that's when I first appreciated that it was actually a framework, that it was so, that all this, I started recreating my weight loss salads right there in the kitchen and measuring them, because I was never a measurer, but I was shocked at how consistent each one was from a calorie and just the macros in it, and how consistent all of them were. They were in a certain range, and that it really was a framework. And all those months, and I'm very systematic, and so in retrospect, it's not a huge surprise that I was really fine tuning and bringing my own eating into a certain framework that was working for me day to day. And I ended up kind of in that place of that framework after like a lot of trial and error and playing around. I played around with 500 calorie meals and 800 calorie meals and different things, and landed where I landed because it worked for me. And when you hear me in the community, when people say, oh, but this part of it doesn't work, and I say, okay, change it and do this thing, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And that's exactly what I did. I was doing just in my own kitchen without any kind of engagement with anybody else. And that's what I encourage people to do. But it was, that was the spring of 2019 when I was working on those RBS recipes. That became like my discipline. What is it that I'm doing? And to what degree does it impact the success of the community? And certainly things that are going to reduce the success of the community. I mean, I'm going to fight not to, I mean, we're going to work, we're always working to try to maintain or improve the success of the community. Inch is real. And I'll talk more about that. So, and how we even pay for all this, because though having said we were going to get sponsors and all that, and you probably noticed I don't have sponsors, and people even, and we have the digital courses. And so these are what's funding the community is these things. And so when we don't have sponsors, it's because people are buying the information products. And so it's, and this is where my time has been in the last, is for 2 years now, is in working on these information products, because we are seeing a direct connection to these and the success, but also as a real happy benefit, they keep our lights on and keep us from having to go out and get the sponsors. Because here's the problem with the sponsors. I mean, you guys know the problem with a lot of sponsors is that, those sponsors, their interest is just to sell their stuff, whatever that is. And if that stuff does not help the weight loss in some way, we then have a conflict. And my big concern with even things like the collagen, where I don't feel like that would have been a terrible sponsor. I think the message that we don't need anything, you know, any kind of product, any kind of, supplement or whatever else is so important that at this stage, you're not going to see me selling collagen or getting a collagen sponsor, for instance, even though, I mean, I will say, go out and get some collagen, because it's not going to hurt. It might help, right? But you're not going to see like the Eat Like a Bear private label collagen on the site. And the reason is that it's, if we need more revenue, I feel like there's better ways to get revenue that are not going to affect the success of the community. And it always muddies the water when you start selling something that people will to associate that with their success. No, no, you're doing it, you're driving your success. And for the long term, for like the maintenance long game, we have to learn that. And anything that clouds that message, you're not going to find on the website, or hopefully in the community, though increasingly as the community gets bigger, it's harder. I mean, people say what they want and make recommendations. And so, you know, we try to apply a little bit of a democratic method in the community as well too. And so, by the way, we don't like overly police, I don't think, the comments, like in terms of like, well, yeah, buffering again. Oh, you guys are talking about, I'm looking at your comments now as we try to get back online and like, yeah, selling lettuce. Yeah, so maybe lettuce and apple cider vinegar, maybe so. But I'm actually not inclined to even sell any of those. So I think the focus now has been on the, on the information products is a good one. But yeah, or oh, I'll pickle you, you guys. I'll make some pickled onions for you and sell those or something like that. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe, but maybe not. I mean, probably not. I would want to look really carefully at what it was. And of course, does it actually support weight loss in some way? But more importantly, if it muddies that message, then we can't do that. And and it would have just been so easy 2 years ago to do that, because again, I don't think there's anything really wrong with selling collagen. But now that I've realized a big part of why we're seeing the success is because I have drawn that bright line on that message. And so we're going to just keep that line right there, right there. And I didn't appreciate that at all 2 years ago. Not at all. Not, I mean, I knew there's problems with sponsorships. I mean, I knew all that, but you'd think some would be okay. And, and I wonder about that now. So I'm glad I didn't do it. Really glad. And okay. Let's see. Are we even here? Uncle. Y'all saying uncle? I'm saying uncle. Um, let's see. Yeah, so one of some of the things we're going to do, and I have it, Amazon affiliate link to products. So we have Wanda, we have in the group, so we haven't used it that much. But there's a like an influencer page, and you can put like recommendations in there, and so we do have that, and so that's there. And even there, we're kind of careful. But the things that people ask a lot about, we try to have a category in there so we can just direct people to that whole page. But that page isn't going to ever pay the bills of this community. I can guarantee you. So, but that, could be a nice little stream, I suppose, and we should probably keep it up a little better because we kind of neglect it. We kind of neglect it. Yeah, so we kind of neglect it. We kind of neglect it. Yeah, so anyway, because, oh my gosh, what's wrong with the internet? Anyway, um, so, oh, okay, I won't be here Saturday or Sunday live, but I will be back Monday. I'll be back tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, right? And so Thursday, Friday, and then I won't be here on the weekend, but I'll be back again live because I think we're still going to be counting down unless a bunch of people jump on the scale in the next day and end up, right there at that century mark. And Bonnie is saying, yeah, so I know, and we could sell this, and so there's stuff we can sell, and I really appreciate your guys' support. And we have a lot of demand for the t-shirts, and we do have some on Amazon. And but you know what? You don't make a lot of money at all with the t-shirts on Amazon, and because they take care of it, so but it is some revenue. And but if we're going to make like actual money on t-shirts, we need to print them and fulfill them ourselves. Well, we're fulfilling the books, and so the idea of fulfilling the t-shirts is the next step, maybe. And so I think we're growing in that direction. But quite honestly, offering all of the every single all these things, how to put this, there's a lot of work back here as it is. And so my focus has been on these things. And Sandra, my husband, his focus has been on fulfilling these. And as we get those structures in place, we should be better able to start selling some of the merch. And it's my goal too that I'm going to be talking more about this is going to cut out. I'm going to have to go. But anyway, my goal is to have things like this and to say, hey, the proceeds of this go to building this part of our message. And because that really has been how I've used the revenue from mentioned, so I haven't got paid, but it's okay, and I will, and don't worry about me, okay? So, because I'm cheap as heck and I can get by on nothing, so I've been able to and my husband still works, though he's working more and more for Eat Like a Bear, so we'll definitely have to get paid at some point. But but we're putting the money back into growing this. And so I definitely see in the future of, selling something like a replica, saying, "Well, yeah, the proceeds from this go to," as I've mentioned before, my vision for like the next stage of content is, as I finish up this sort of thing, and there's the cooked RBS, and I hope to have these done in not too long. And I'm already gearing up for the next phase of content, which is the YouTube channel. And I see that as being more. So I think you guys at this stage, you're just talking to each other over there. It's like, I don't know, is Amanda even still here anymore? Okay. Okay. Oh, and you guys are asking about the interview. You guys, Melinda and Lori and Anna were so great. We were all just so they interviewed each of us, and I don't know how they're even going to piece it together, because it took about an hour to film. And so I went first, and then Anna Sewell went. We kind of went in order of the chain, because the story was about, me telling Anna, who told Melinda, who told Lori, and each of our stories. And so I was first, and then I'm listening to each one, and I was just back there crying. So anyway, and it made me just realize we got to do the stories. We got stories. We got to, and Melinda and Lori are right here. They're right here. So there's no reason we don't have their story on YouTube right now, except that I haven't done it. And well, I'll get there. I'm getting there. And that's my big focus. That's what I want. That's what we're gonna do. I think that is driving so much of our success. See? Because I measure it against that, right? Now I know my measuring stick. And and I should talk more about that. We were all crying. Yeah. Yeah, we sure were. Okay. If the measuring stick is what's going to drive success, I think seeing stories of other people will drive massive success. And that's where we're strong. We're strong in our stories. And so that's what we're going to do. That is the direction for Eat Like a Bear as we move forward and celebrating the century cases. But this is the beginning. And people have messaged me or, tagged me and said, but I'm not going to make the 100. Like, you know what? We really are just beginning. And aren't we? I mean, I hope we're just beginning. I hope we can push forward and make it through and keep the lights on and, respond to the demands, set the boundaries on the demands, all that stuff, so that we can push through and just keep going. And so if you're 157, that's great. That's great. And I don't know what, we got a lot of people right there, just already 50 pounds in or something. We could hit something like 157 sooner than we might think. So anyway, stories. So that is going to be a huge direction for this website. But I am going to kind of end this because this has not gone very well. Wonder what's up with my internet. Um, we have line of sight. We have a radio antenna for our internet, and there is a tree branch in the way that's a locust tree that just bloomed. So now it makes me wonder if it's that line of sight. I need to go climb that tree and take that limb down. It's really high up. I really need to get like one of these guys who climbs trees and get him to take the limb down. And let's see, Wanda is frugal. And you absolutely, Wanda. So you retired at 60, and it is time to get out and hike for sure, for sure. Absolutely. Um, yeah, and Anna's the non-scale victories. Absolutely. Um, okay, Bonnie. I'm not cannot read the compliments, you guys. It's all kind of too much. Seriously, so thinking about, what honestly, I don't know what I would have said back in the spring of 2018 if someone, it's kind of like I say, if someone had told me back when I weighed 280 pounds and had shown me a picture, I wouldn't have believed it and I would have been angry. In 2018, had someone said, hey, Amanda, look at this. Okay, look at this. And, but you're also going to, I mean, there's a lot of responsibilities, you guys back here. And I think I would have been really way too scared. So me like trying to get the other guy to do it, some man to do it. There's a commentary in there somewhere, I am sure. Yeah, I'm sure of it. Okay. I'm going to investigate my internet because this is ridiculous. It cut out, what, 5 or 6 times. And we will see. So tomorrow, I'm sure I feel a little flustered by all this. So I'll have another segment for you tomorrow. And very soon, I want to get with Anna. And I was thinking about you jumping in digitally, Anna, but then I'd really like to do it together in person, old school on internet video. There's no old school with this, is there? And oh, Susan, wonderful. We would love to get that success story. Yeah, you guys. So, because we have a place on the website where you can submit your story, and we're working on a process to try to get it out on the website. Because what we've learned many, many times is if I'm completely in charge of it, it almost never gets done because I'm in charge of too many things. So we have a little system back there now, and so that's awesome. I'm excited. And Wanda says, yeah, we need to get together. We do. We do. We do. And so we're moving in that direction too. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Old school, right? But it is not able to connect digitally. That's been a nice thing, as much as we all so badly need to get out there in the world and see actual people and give them a hug. I have hope that we're so close to the hug stage. I hugged someone the other day. Who was it that I even hugged? I hugged Melinda. She's like, would you hug me? I hugged her. And so that felt like, wow, that was revolutionary. So, yeah, okay. You guys, so I hope to hug all of you very soon. Somewhere, most of you are somewhere in this map, and others, like Wendy and Paulina are on other continents, so all the places. Up now, I always think hang up. I always mostly say it, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for the next segment in the about something amazing. I feel all flustered and don't even remember what my story is. Okay, so hey Debbie, you take care, and use the state chats and create get-togethers. Absolutely. Hey, you know what else I have, which is great, is within my email system. I have zip codes for people, but not only that, but like the Big Brother-ish kind of things, like knowing somebody's IP. The software that I use will allow me to see who's subscribed to my email, who's like within 100 miles of a certain zip code, for instance, that kind of thing. And so I could email people and say, hey, I'm gonna be in Boise on Tuesday, let's meet, or that Debbie is planning a meetup in upstate New York on Saturday. That kind of thing is possible in the email too. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's hashtags in the group that will help you find people in your state. So that's definitely a good place to start. Yeah, for sure. Okay, you guys. Okay, before we cut out again, I am going to catch you all tomorrow. You guys take care.